Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this morning's midweek motivational message call. I'm excited that you are here. Today is it's Wednesday, June 10th. Wow, time is just, I was going to say slowly, but it's not slowly. It's quickly flying by. And so I hope that each and every one of you are just feeling well this morning and that you're up and you're getting ready to go to work. I know it's bright and early and there's so many other things that you could be doing, but while you are preparing for your day, you made it a point to join me on this morning's call. And so I do not take it lightly. I appreciate you for being here. And that says to me that you understand that on hump day, Wednesdays, sometimes knowing it's hump day just isn't enough. And you need just a little motivation to get you over the hump. And so welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host for this morning's call, Nicole B. Jackson. And we're going to get right on into our message for today. If you were on last week's call, then you know we're talking about fresh starts and new beginnings. And if this is your very first time joining us this morning, welcome. I'm excited that you're here. And for everyone, it's about fresh starts and new beginnings. It's something about the season of spring. Spring, of course, means new life. Flowers begin to bloom, the bees begin to buzz again, and everything just starts to kind of shift gears from the winter time. And so it's an opportunity for new life, fresh starts, new beginnings. And there's so many great things that can come out of a fresh start, starting over, beginning again. But sometimes for a lot of us, it's a very difficult thing to do. Can be a very difficult thing to embrace, often when the fresh start or beginning again wasn't necessarily something that we had intended to do. See, sometimes starting over, yes, we make the decision ourselves and we say, hey, you know what? I've got this going on. I've got that going on. I don't like this. I want a little bit more of that. And we begin the process of transforming and doing things differently ourselves. But sometimes, on the other hand, our hands are pushed or our hands are tied and we have no other choice but to begin the transformation process. And when it's not necessarily a choice or a decision that we've made initially for ourselves, it can be very challenging to embrace that fresh start. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about, yes, fresh starts and new beginnings, but I want to focus a little bit on the challenge because, again, we understand that fresh starts and new beginnings can be definitely a good thing, but I also understand that for a lot of us, it's not something that we really, truly want to do. So let's take a look at that, the challenges of starting fresh, of beginning again. Oftentimes, again, when your hands are forced, you look at it as, well, what did I do? What was wrong? What mistakes did I make? And you start taking in a lot of the negativity that maybe messages that other people are saying in regards to you having to start over or move to a different direction, and you start questioning yourself. Or am I good enough? What am I going to do now? Who's going to hire me? Who's going to want me? I'm damaged goods. All these other things have happened. And so we look at the opportunity or the fact that we've got to make a new start as a mistake, and we get down on ourselves. And I'm here to tell you today that even though maybe you did make a mistake, maybe you did get laid off as a result of something you did or did not do, maybe your relationship ended as a result of something that you did not do, this is a time to evaluate yourself, evaluate the role that you played in this experience, and then as I talk about transformation, and step 2 is identifying what you need to change moving forward. What things do you need to do differently in a relationship? What should you now do differently on a new job? And so identifying that and then you working diligently to implement that change in your life. See, the song, We Fall Down But We Get Up, is so true because you may just be downtrodden and brokenhearted as a result of what has happened, but you don't stay there. Remember, I talk all the time about flipping the script, but speaking truth to your situation. So your situation may not be the best at this particular moment because of some mistakes that you've made. Acknowledge that acknowledge how it's making you feel, and then acknowledge what you need to change and start working on yourself to make some changes for the better. But don't wallow in it. You can't go back and change the past. The past is the past. And I know some of us know about the Tom Cruise and the Back to the Future and the Time Machine. If you don't, that means you're probably a lot younger than I, but that's okay. However, there is no such thing as a real time machine. We cannot go back. We will stress ourselves out trying to go back and change the past, ruminating over and over again of what happened days ago, yesterday, even minutes ago, because we can't go back and change it. The focus has to be on moving forward in a positive manner and doing the best that you can do to ensure that that thing doesn't happen again in your life. So hold your head up. If this new start has happened because of a mistake that you made, hold your head up, put those shoulders back, and walk boldly and proudly knowing that you're going to do the best that you can do to change the situations in your life to make a better outcome moving forward. The second reason why, the fresh start, new beginning is sometimes a challenge for a lot of us is because of fear. It's because of the fear. Fear is one of those things. It's a normal human reaction. So don't get me wrong. We all get fearful. I get afraid a lot, and the thoughts about what's going to happen and how am I going to do this and how is this going to play itself out, that's a normal human reaction to become afraid. When it becomes a problem is where you allow it to stifle you. You allow that fear to just keep you stuck where you are, and you don't go anywhere, you don't do anything because you're just too fearful of what might happen. And that's the problem, and that's where anxiety comes in, and you have worry, and you got those thoughts that you just keep thinking over and over and over again. So yes, fear is a normal human reaction. Sometimes fear is even a positive thing if you're trying to figure out how you're going to save your life if you're in a life-threatening situation. But when fear becomes a problem for you and it's stopping you from doing the work to reach your goals, or you find yourself messing up on purpose because you're afraid of the success, then we got to have a different conversation. But so fear of failing sometimes, fear of succeeding sometimes, fear of being judged, fear of being chastised, fear of being rejected. Those are some of the things that we experience when it comes to fear when we look at, oh, I got to start over. I got to start anew. I got to begin this thing again. But I'm here to tell you, that, yes, it's a normal reaction, but God hasn't given us the spirit of fear, but of sound mind. So even in the midst of fear, you can acknowledge how you feel, but understand that, okay, I'm afraid of this situation. I don't know what's going to happen. However, I'm going to walk forward. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to make a plan as best as I can to try to walk in what I know I'm supposed to do. And if I don't have all the answers, I'm going to ask for help. So you see, sometimes that fear stifles us because we don't have all the answers. We don't know what to do. And that's okay. No one says you got to know everything. No one says you got to have all the answers. That's why, different people have different gifts. Research, find support, ask questions until you feel, confident enough to walk in it. Now, I said until you feel confident enough to walk in it. Now, let me break that down, because sometimes we'll sit on a thing and we'll sit, I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready. And months will go by, years will go by, decades might go by, and we haven't walked in what we know we're supposed to do because we feel that we're just not ready. Sometimes you're just ready. Sometimes you won't be 100% ready. You don't know until you start going and you figure it out along the way. But that fear is the thing that keeps you from going. So, guys, I'm here to tell you, do not allow fear to stifle you. Joyce Meyer says sometimes you have to just do it afraid. You do it afraid, and again, you figure it out along the way. You ask the questions, you find the support, you look for additional resources, and you don't allow the fear of failing, the fear of succeeding, the fear of being judged, the fear of rejection, or whatever your fears are to stifle you. Because then on the other side, you'll be dealing with a whole lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas, and again, you cannot get that time back. You cannot get time back. You cannot go back and change it. You've got to keep pushing. You've got to keep moving forward. And then the third struggle, or the third thing that, we find it difficult to move forward with a fresh start or new beginning is sometimes forgiveness. Guys, we as human beings can hold a grudge. Some of us, better than others. When someone has done us wrong or hurt us or done something that we think, is detrimental to us and our well-being or even our position, we can hold a grudge. And when I tell you that the person that you're holding the grudge against probably has moved on far beyond that experience and isn't even thinking of you, but yet you're still giving that situation and that person energy. You're giving them energy, and you're giving them precious moments of your time in your life that you can't get back, that you're spending being resentful and angry. It takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile, which means that it takes you more energy to be angry at somebody than it does to forgive. So when you're looking at that, looking at forgiveness, you got to understand that forgiving other people is not for them. It's for you. Because, again, they've moved on. They're doing something completely different, and we're still holding on to that thing. So forgiving other people is for you. Opening up your heart. Again, if they've hurt you and they've wronged you, forgiveness doesn't mean that you're giving them a pass. Doesn't mean that you're saying it's okay in regards to what has happened. No, it's saying that, whatever happened, it happened, but I cannot allow you to, in this situation, to take over my life. I've got to forgive. Maybe you knew better. Maybe you didn't. I'm going to forgive you for myself, to clear my heart and to make room for the blessings that are going to come my way, because I'm no longer holding on to this anger and this resentment. And then the other piece of forgiveness is sometimes we got to forgive ourselves, especially when we're looking at mistakes that we've made and we're trying to move forward or having to start over. We got to forgive ourselves. We hold on to a lot of personal guilt, a lot of personal anguish and pain because of the things that we did, things that we didn't do, things that maybe we've said, or things that we feel like we should have, again, woulda, shoulda, coulda. And so you have to forgive yourselves, guys. That is one of the steps that I talk about in the 7 steps to transforming your life into the life that you dream of, desire, and deserve. It's forgiveness, forgiving others and forgiving yourself, because sometimes we do the best that we can do with what we've got. Now, when you know better and you make a decision not to do better, we have to definitely walk in and own those consequences. But, again, it doesn't mean that you can't get up from the fall, learn something, move forward, and do something different. So, guys, in this, those 3 things that I think that sometimes keeps us or causes us to struggle when it comes to starting over, the mistakes, the fear, and forgiveness. I want you to examine where you are in that process today. If you've been forced with having to start over, or even if you want to start over, you want a fresh start and a new beginning, examine those 3 areas of your life. Are you down on yourself because of mistakes that you've made? Is fear stifling you from moving forward? Are you still holding on to some resentment and anger of other people and guilt of yourself and needing to forgive? Figure those things out. Ask yourself some hard questions. Speak truth to the situation. And again, flip the script, find the positives to focus on, and encourage yourself, motivate yourself to start on the path towards the fresh start, new beginnings. When you get going and you begin to reach for something new and you see the fruits of your labor coming to you in that fresh start and that new beginning, that's going to be motivation enough for you to keep going and keep moving and keep striving, guys. So today's midweek motivational message is, in the making of a fresh start and a new beginning, if you're facing any type of fear, any type of self-doubt, and dealing with any types of unforgiveness, do your work. Figure out how to maneuver through all that stuff. Work through it and push forward. Don't stay stuck where you are. You deserve to be able to have a life that is fulfilled, the life that you dream of, desire, and deserve. Again, guys, I am Nicole B. Jackson, your host for your midweek motivational messages. Join me here each and every Wednesday, same time, same place. I pray that you enjoy the rest of your day. Take these nuggets throughout today and the rest of the week and share them with someone else. Be a blessing to others, guys. Have a great week. Take care.